my shoulder, and there, just inches away, was a goddamn.
What a story I have for you today. Okay, so today we are reacting to scary stories sent in by nobody, since I know, or I do have a Discord link in the description, but that's not the point. We're reacting to some scary videos, top 10 scariest videos, and yeah, hold on, let me bring it up. True horror stories. No, true horror stories? No, we're not doing that. No, thank you. First, I'm gonna tell y'all probably the most scariest interaction I've ever had. So first off, not mine. So I'm gonna let y'all paint a picture here. I think it was like a Wednesday, normal Wednesday, almost. You're getting out of school and you're walking out of campus, or you're getting out of school, but you haven't walked out campus. So basically, there are a couple furries at my school. I don't know why the school allows that. If we can't even have our hoods on, I don't know why the school allows them to wear masks and cover their whole face. My friends started saying that they were gonna call animal control. Yeah, we just kept on saying that we were gonna call animal control. So then, the furry, I think she had like this Dandy's World furry mask. She then starts chasing us and saying that she was gonna bite us. So then, now we're in lock-in mode. Now we have to run for our absolute lives because we don't know what she can do. So then she chases us out the campus.
This story happened to me on a Thursday night when I was home alone in my apartment complex. I live with my roommate Josh, who was usually out with his girlfriend, so that gave me the luxury of having the place to myself. I was video chatting with 3 classmates of mine on Facebook Messenger. Their names were Eric, Craig, and Cindy. This was my first interaction with them as our professor selected us to be in a group project together. Throughout the night, we brainstormed ideas while getting more acquainted with one another. This is when the story gets a bit weird. Eric spontaneously asked the group chat, "Hey guys, want to see something cool?"
What is it?
"Getting an A+ in this project would be cool."
What does Eric kind of look like? Oh no.
"Sure man, what's up?" Eric sends the group chat a photo. I click the chat icon and see a disturbing image of a woman with her arms and legs missing. What the
Ew! Why are you sending us this?
Dude, where the hell did you get that
annoying,
photo?
bro.
I'll tell you, but you guys really need to keep this a secret. Promise me you won't tell anyone.
I'm
This
snitching.
isn't marketing related, but okay, I guess.
Sure dude. Please don't tell me you were the sicko who took that pic.
I didn't. I actually got the photo from the dark web.
Dude, you go on the dark web?
What's the dark web?
This hidden part of the internet where you can buy illegal stuff. I personally wasn't that educated about the dark web, but
Why is there so
I
much
did hear
keys on his
rumors about it
keyboard?
growing up. I've always acknowledged the existence of these kinds of things growing up, but
What?
I was still unaware as to what potential atrocities lie within the online world. Eric then says,
Yeah, I just recently started getting into it. I found the photo from one of the forums I came across called Homemade Dolls. Here's the full-size picture.
he then sends us the
Eric gotta be kicked out the group chat, bro.
had a description box next to it with the title Doll Number 20.
Wait, that Loki looks like the girl from Terrifier.
Details in the description stated inhumane acts that can be performed on the victims before being shipped to their buyers. I felt pretty disgusted reading the dialogue, but I was still somewhat skeptical about the whole thing. It was hard to deny its legitimacy, though. The authenticity of the image looked too real to be a hoax.
To be honest, this looks photoshopped.
I don't know.
This
It
cannot
looks
be
pretty
true,
real
bro.
to me. Dude, that's disgusting. Why do you even go on sites like that?
Well, I only go on it occasionally.
A random user joins the video chat.
Leave the call.
Who's that?
Who do you
I
think
don't
it is,
know.
bro?
I swear to God, we better not be getting hacked.
Eric, is this one of your stupid friends from the dark web? I'm gonna call the cops if it is.
That's when I decide to move my mouse cursor to exit the video chat. Why the
Thank
hell isn't
you.
this working? Come on, work, goddammit!
Oh,
My cursor was resisting to move no matter how many times I clicked or moved my mouse. That's when it was a guy wearing a pig mask. The mask didn't look like some dollar store knockoff. It looked like the skinned face of an actual pig. He wore it like he was Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hey, is anybody seeing what I'm seeing? Eric, dude, I really hope this isn't a stupid prank.
It's not, dude. I don't even know who that is.
Why is there a guy wearing a pig mask on my screen?
turn your computer off.
I don't know why, but something about that moment, I just knew. I was looking into the eyes of what true evil looks like. That's when my classmate's video chat completely froze. The only screen functioning was the pigman's. It seemed like our computers were being hijacked. I couldn't quite comprehend what was going on till I heard the pigman say, "Can you see me? Say yes if you can hear me."
Say it!
I replied with, "Yes, what do you want from me?" in an uncontrollable stutter. "You know that feeling you get when you're with someone for so long? Every single day just drags and becomes a routine. Well, I just want something new and fresh, you know? Something vibrant that will make me feel alive again. I just need a new doll." What do you say? Does it sound like a brilliant plan to you? I was completely appalled by what was transpiring. That's when I hear a muffled female's voice in the background.
This better not be what I think it is.
Towards the direction of the muffled voice. She had duct tape on her mouth and a chain bound around her neck. The woman was flailing her severed arms wildly in a desperate attempt to escape. A couple seconds later, the pigman approaches her while holding an axe, the kind of axe lumberjacks use to chop down trees. I began to hyperventilate as I knew the inevitable fate this woman was about to endure. He then raises the axe up in the air. I begin screaming from the top of my lungs, "Leave her alone or I'm calling the cops!" As I took my last glance
What are the cops gonna do? Realistically.
at the woman, I realized that it was the same woman in the photo that Eric sent. That's when the pigman smashes the axe against the woman's skull repeatedly. I practically leap up from my chair and begin to vomit. I look back on the screen, only to see nothing. Like the whole thing was just a bad dream.
That's
or a
when you turn
figment
your
of my
computer
imagination.
off.
What the hell just happened? I know I'm not.
He looks like a sausage.
Immediately messaged my classmates in the group chat saying, "Please tell me you guys saw all of that. Did any of you see the pigman? We need to report him." Yeah, I briefly saw him, but then my video chat ended.
Same here. That was weird as hell.
Must have been a hacker. Thank God my screen went back to normal.
Somebody kick Eric out the group chat, bro.
I
That's
respond as
crap.
nonchalantly as I can, saying, "Yeah, basically what you guys saw. I think it's best that we just put this behind us and move on from here, you know?" I didn't know if that was the right decision. I didn't want to further escalate the situation. Acknowledging the pigman's existence was one thing, but going into further detail about afterwards just felt unnecessary. This is the part where I wish the story ends. It's been a year since the incident. I ended up dropping out and taking the semester off due to the mental trauma I endured. I now work at a local retail store. I was coming home from work and I saw an envelope sitting in my mail slot. I open it and discover the most horrifying thing that sends shivers down my spine. It was a picture of my classmate, Cindy. Except
No.
She had no legs and no arms. The picture was titled Doll Number 21.
True pineapple horror story.
I remember waking up in a steel cage, locked inside a limitless white room. The room looked like it had no end. Just my bed, the cage, and a swarm of distorted figures surrounding me. There were hundreds of them, and they all
They look like Christmas trees, bro.
were possessed, like something out of the movie The Exorcist. Where the hell am I? This can't be real. I must be dreaming.
Another dimension, straight from the depths of reality.
I couldn't distinguish whether these people were human or not. But all I can say is that
You're gay!
overwhelmingly frightened
Freak
by the
out.
over-exaggerated mouths of these creatures. They just kept tormenting me like I was a test subject in a lab experiment gone wrong. Please, stop it. Stop it. What the hell
This
do
one
you-
is very boring.
I remember opening my eyes and waking up to my bedroom.
Oh, he peed himself.
I can't live like this anymore. My body was dripping with sweat.
He peed himself.
I was honestly convinced that I was living in an alternate reality, trapped in a never-ending nightmare. Taking my prescribed meds really helped with my schizophrenic tendencies, as it would numb down the hallucinations that I experienced on occasion. My parents understood my condition, but my sister Jenny didn't.
His sister Jenny looks like a crack addict.
Me and her never got along growing up, as she
I wonder why.
always teased me about my condition. Well,
Not trying to see dingling.
teased me about my other condition. I also have obsessive compulsive disorder, otherwise known as OCD.
You mean obesity?
I had a disorder where I couldn't touch, taste, nor bear the sight of pineapples. I know this sounds quite bizarre, but it's haunted me throughout my existence.
Oh, you can't eat pineapple anymore.
It was a compulsion that I had developed at an early age and have grown a great deal of disdain for. The tough segmented skin and the pointy leaves was always something I fathom as to why one could think such a thing was edible. I always thought a pineapple was equivalent to eating a porcupine.
Seek a therapist, bro.
Just a pointy object that humans have to butcher down to consume. As understanding as my parents were about my condition, I still feel like there was an underlying favoritism towards my sister Jenny. I can tell they enjoyed Jenny's company more, as she was less high maintenance than myself, to say the least. Growing up in the same household as her really made me more uncomfortable than I already was. She would use my condition as fuel for her bullying antics.
She gotta go.
I remember when I was in school,
The fit is crazy.
Jenny would always text me when she arrived up. The annoying thing was that she intentionally texted the pineapple emoji as opposed
As a bro, a pineapple made him paranoid.
Opposed to just texting I'm here, just to get under my skin. I remember another time where
Chat, is this me? Hello? Someone watching me?
I invited my friend Steven to come over to my place.
Oh no, Steven.
Hey Jenny, can you order some food for me and Steven?
What do you want?
Anything but the thing you know I don't like. Please?
How about I get you guys a pizza and 2 drinks? Sound good?
She's gonna make it a pineapple pizza. So original, bro.
Yeah, thanks sis.
He looks like Kai from Ninjago. What did it what did you want? You can't lie, bro. By the way, this might be next. If I get money.
Dude, is that your sister? Yeah, why? Oh, she's hot.
So we're into drug addicts now.
She's got a lot of tattoos. Dude, stop checking out my sister.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I was just looking at her tattoos. She seems like a pretty cool person. You wouldn't be saying that if you lived with her.
Those bangs are crazy. They look like shark teeth.
Well, I only need to live with her for one night.
What?
Ow! I was just joking, sheesh. About 30 minutes later, the pizza guy arrives and delivers the pizza.
About 30 minutes later, a pizza guy arrives and he delivers the pizza. Like, just speak! He has a content creator voice. 30 minutes later, my grandma found out the stick.
Here you go, boys. Eat up.
Why's she built like that?
I open the box, only to discover a pepperoni pizza
What?
topped with pineapples. What the hell is this? Why did you put pineapples on the pizza? It's been a couple months since that.
It's been a year, Daddy.
My hatred for Jenny has unfortunately become far greater as time went on. I was honestly convinced she had a compulsion herself for making my life a living hell.
Get over it, bro. It's a pineapple.
Occasion where the final straw was drawn. I remember watching TV in my bedroom when I see Jenny lurking behind the doorway, holding a sheet of paper.
Yep, Jenny gotta go, bro.
She began waving the paper at me while saying,
Hey, Jake. I have 2 surprises I want to show you.
"It'd be a surprise if you moved out, 'cause I'd love that."
Don't be rude. I have a drawing I made for you.
What is it?
Get out my room.
Jenny then reveals a hand-drawn picture.
Why is she built like that? It's actually making me mad.
Hand-drawn
You know what she look like?
picture of a pineapple with SpongeBob on it. What the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you stop tormenting me?
Get out my room, Mom!
I got another tattoo.
Jenny then
It's gonna be a pineapple.
lowers the sheet of paper, revealing a tattoo of a pineapple on her chest.
Surprise!
Get the hell out of my room, you freak.
I'm not in your room. Okay, maybe get out of my room. Yep, she got it out. Finally, a character do something realistic for once.
I hate her. I hate her so much. I hate her so much. I hate her so much.
I think he hates her, guys.
A couple hours passed by, and it was time to go to bed. I couldn't sleep that night, as my blood pressure felt like it was at an all-time high. I could feel my head throb in pain as I became more irritated with the thought of my sister's existence. Why the hell would she get a tattoo of a pineapple? What kind of sister does that to her brother? It was about 1 a.m. in the morning when I ultimately decided to go to Jenny's room and confront her about her derogatory behavior towards me. While approaching her room, I can hear Jenny's voice subtly echo louder in my head saying,
Surprise!
over and over again.
Surprise! Surprise! Surprise!
I then open her bedroom door, only to see a pineapple sitting on top of her bed. Is this supposed to be another stupid orchestrated prank? That's when I grabbed a pair of scissors from the top of the nightstand and began piercing the pineapple over and over again, stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. Good luck sleeping on top of this mess, loser.
Wait, what if he was hallucinating and that was his sister? What? That would be a crazy plot twist. King is hyperventilating. Look at his eyes.
Morning, it's time for school. Jenny, wake up. Jenny!
I told you!
What? What the hell? I could have sworn it was a pineapple. No. No. No, no, no. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. That's when I grabbed a pair of scissors from the top of the nightstand and began piercing the pineapple. Oh. It wasn't me. I decided to close my eyes and recite over and over again in my head, please be a dream, please be a dream, please be a dream. That's when I opened my eyes again, only to see myself back inside a steel cage. I was still in a white room, surrounded by hundreds of distorted creatures. But then my vision started becoming clearer. I realized that I wasn't in a cage. I was in a jail cell. Those distorted figures weren't creatures. They were men in orange jumpsuits.
Okay, hold on, let's clap. Wait. Let's see what he has to say. Never mind. Oh, thank you. Clap it up for the video! True Train horror story.
This story happened to me on a Saturday night. It happened when I was
Emo girl!
story.
Fell in love with an emo girl.
I was sitting on my bed watching TV while Lisa was on her laptop working on a school report for her English class. It was due the following Monday, which kept her busy on the laptop for the majority of the weekend. My parents were out of town, so we had the house to ourselves.
The parents are always out of town, what they said.
Just like to point out that Lisa and I were polar opposites from each other. I say this because
I can tell, bro.
she was a goth who fantasized over dark and morbid kind of things. I was the complete opposite from that. However, our different personalities didn't stop us from pursuing a relationship with one another, as we'd been together for about 4 months now. I'd also like to point
Yeah.
actually awkward if she was talking to anyone other than myself. There was a time where I invited her over to a family dinner with my parents. Lisa was understandably a bit shy at first, but as the night progressed, it turned out to be less awkward than I anticipated. Near the end of dinner, my dad asked Lisa, "So Lisa, if you could have anything in the world other than Jack, what would it be?"
I don't know if I feel comfortable answering that.
What do you mean? What else would you want other than my son?
Harold, stop it. Sweetie, you can
Yeah,
tell us anything if
Harold,
you want.
stop it.
Could tell Lisa was getting uncomfortable about the impromptu interrogation
The skin tone difference from her face and her neck is insane.
parents decided to have by the look on her face.
Well, it's complicated.
To be honest, I was a little taken back by that statement, as I thought I knew everything about her. I decided to chime in saying, what do you mean, Lisa? Things took a total 180 when Lisa says,
Don't you guys wish you could resurrect your dead loved ones?
I guess I would. My family found Lisa quite bizarre since that day, but oddly enough, accepted her for who she was. Fast forward to now, and that statement that Lisa made would all make sense to me. Lisa was tired of the monotony of her report, so we decided to head to the balcony. I remember both of us being out of our minds.
So they are a drug addict.
Gazing out into the horizon. Midway through, Lisa offhandedly makes an odd remark saying,
It would be pretty cool if I could see Todd again.
Hold up, let me get context real quick.
Todd was Lisa's ex.
Leave her.
I found this quite strange that she would say such a thing, considering the fact that we were both dating each other.
Right?
I agitatedly said, "Fine, go see him then. It's not like I ever liked you."
Oh! Oh! How you gonna take that, Lisa? Lisa already looked mad. She already looks hot, bro.
Lisa then gives me a death stare like she wanted to throw me off the balcony. I stare back at her while I casually take another.
Oh my god, bro. She hit me with Ariana
A long
Grande shirt
pause,
on.
but then I had a nostalgic moment. I remembered Lisa mentioning something about Todd passing away just before we dated. His cause of death was
He's also an emo lifestyle.
due to undisclosed reasons I won't get into.
He wants to cut his life into pieces, bro.
Everything Lisa was saying all made sense now. She was just expressing that she wanted to see Todd again since he was no longer here with us. I attributed my lack of memory to being in my mind, which helped make the mishap more plausible, so I extend my arm to pass it to Lisa.
Whoa!
She then slaps the out of my hand and aggressively says,
He was better than you anyway.
Oh! Someone get their phone out.
into arguments with Lisa in the past, but I could tell she was at her boiling point this time. She then storms out of my place and immediately gets into her car.
Oh.
Despite being wrong in the situation, I stupidly shouted from the balcony saying, "Fine, have fun fishing on Tinder, loser!"
Oh!
Flips me the bird and begins.
Oh!
I eventually head back to my bedroom and continue to watch TV. About 5 minutes later, I couldn't help but feel guilty about what I did. I then decide to text Lisa saying, "Please come back to my house. I'm not trying to fight. I also have a free place in more in case you forgot." A couple minutes go by and I get no reply. That's when I start becoming more anxious. I kept contemplating whether I should call Lisa, but I didn't want to submit to the fact that I was begging for her forgiveness. I continued watching television. That's when I noticed Lisa's laptop sitting on my computer desk. She had stormed off and obviously forgot to take it with her. I noticed that Lisa had left her school report still open on a Word document, so I decided to proofread it, thinking it would be my silly way of apologizing to her. The report was titled, "Be with your loved ones, even when they're dead."
Yep, we saw no sign.
This wasn't that surprising, as I knew the kind of person Lisa was, but it was also disturbing due to the circumstances that had just occurred on the balcony. I skimmed through the report and find Lisa talking about our relationship and how she wasn't internally happy and needed some sort of closure. I became more and more anxious the further I read into the report. She goes into detail about her past relationship with Todd and how she misses him tremendously.
Freak out!
As I skim through more of it, I come across a part where Lisa talks about being able to reconnect with Todd through a satanic blog she...
Yeah, no thanks. I want to see how Lisa ends.
Lisa, please, I'm sorry!
Or mime. Hello? Oh, this is Arthur Clown.
This happened to me while I was camping with my boyfriend. There was this spot we frequented every time we went, and we would go every year near the start of the spring. Just when things started getting warmer, we did the usual.
Oh. So, y'all like... Oh, I didn't know.
Then my boyfriend would start building a fire. We planned to keep it going through the night for light and warmth. The area was nice. There was a little pond near us where you could feed some ducks nearby. That's when I saw some guy standing on the other side of the pond, at the edge of a stand of trees. He was in his mid-40s, wearing blue jeans and a plaid shirt with an old trucker hat. When I spotted him, he didn't look away or wave. He just stood there staring at me. I pointed him out to my boyfriend, who stopped what he was doing and waved at the guy. But he didn't do anything but continue to gawk at us like a weirdo. I could tell my boyfriend was getting pissed off because he could tell I was feeling uneasy. That's when my boyfriend turned back towards the man and had a tense standoff for a few minutes. I knew my boyfriend didn't want to approach the man either in case he was armed, but he wasn't about to let him watch us all night. After a long, awkward stare down, the man eventually just turned around and walked away, back into the woods. Neither of us could make sense of what had just happened, but once my boyfriend got the fire going, we weren't too worried about it anymore. The sun was setting as the fire started to rage. When I started camping, I wasn't a fan, but as my boyfriend showed me the ropes, I grew to love it. We indulged in doing what all campers do, roasting hot dogs and marshmallows over the open flame, stargazing, and shameless activities in the tent before collapsing into a sleeping bag.
Keep it PG, please!
For days prior, I had to take a but I felt really so many noises like bugs, twig snapping, and bristling bushes around our tent. It sounded like someone or something was out there. After a few minutes, I eventually got myself to calm down and eluded the noise to simply nature. That's when I decided to handle my bathroom business. I didn't want to wake up my boyfriend just in case I was being paranoid, so I grabbed a flashlight and slowly started making my way out of the tent. But before I left, I poked my head out and looked around the campsite, just to make sure there was nothing around. And sure enough, there was nothing there, just the campfire still running nearby. So I stepped out and walked into the woods, not going too deep, but far enough that my boyfriend wouldn't smell anything if he woke up. That's when I found a suitable tree and leaned against it. I then dug a small hole, dropped my pants around my ankles, and then got to business. I was literally right in the middle of it when I started hearing the sounds of twigs snapping again. I looked around with the flashlight but couldn't see anything. I felt so vulnerable, like I had to finish and get dressed right away. Then as soon as it was over with, the pressure in my ears went away, and I heard it. It felt like breathing, like something coming from right behind me. I slowly turned the flashlight and looked over my shoulder, and there, just inches away, was a goddamn... I screamed and jumped backwards, frantically trying to pull up my pants. As the psycho smiled at me, he reached down into the hole I had just dug, picked up the entire log of shit, and smeared it all over his face.
Excuse me?
That's when I got up and ran away as fast as I could, then ripped my boyfriend out of the tent. I told him what I had just saw, but he was in disbelief, still shaking off the sleep. I kept looking around in a panic, but again, nothing. I forced my boyfriend to pack everything up and leave on the spot. We were able to move quickly and into the car. On the way home, he kept asking me questions about what happened. I kept saying exactly what went down, but he had a hard time believing me. He tried to convince me that I had just seen a bear in the dark, but I know what I saw. We never went camping again, obviously. I ended up having to break up with him after he continually made fun of my experience to everyone we knew, claiming I was just making up a story as an excuse for not wiping, and all sorts of other terrible things that should never be said about someone who lived through a traumatic experience. Unfortunately, I knew there was no use calling the cops. They'd be even less believing than my ex, and there wasn't really any crime committed. I do, however, wholeheartedly believe the mime was the man who was staring at us at the beginning of the evening. I just hope I never see him or another mime ever again.
Like, and comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's all. Leave suggestions on what games or videos you want me to react to. If you want me to react to any videos, please tag the creator and list the video that you want me to react to. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you have a good day, or good night, good afternoon, or good morning. Goodbye.